Okay, so this is a 2-day lab. The first day you make the filling. The second day you make the actual egg rolls. Okay, so I'll be making the actual egg rolls on Monday. Okay? All right, so this is the equipment that we need. You need your measuring spoons. You need 2 custard cups. Small liquid mixing bowl. Okay? Then you need the small mixing bowl. You need the 1/4 cup dry and the 1/2 cup dry. Okay? So copy all of that down. Now, as I told second and third period, we've never made these before, okay? This is our first year making them. We were supposed to last year, but something happened in my family and I had to miss 2 weeks. So they didn't get to make them. So this is our first time, okay? So there's some changes to the recipe that we have to make. All right, let's look up top. This is where you're gonna put everything. Okay, the olive oil is gonna go in a custard cup. The 1/4 of a head of cabbage is gonna go on your tray. It says 1 carrot. I want you to change it to a 1/2 carrot because the carrots are humongous. Okay, and that goes on your tray. The 3/4 cup bean sprouts goes in the small bowl. The green onions go on your tray. The water chestnuts go in a custard cup. The ginger goes on your tray. And then the last 4 ingredients all go in the small liquid cup. Okay? And then there's one change that we're going to make to the recipe. And that is on number 10. Okay, I'll give you a minute to write this down. And then on number 10, you're gonna change cook 1 to 2 minutes. You're gonna change it to 30 seconds. Okay? 1 to 2 minutes, it's gonna burn. Okay. So you've got your tray. If you are the assistant cook, you wanna get this quickly. Okay, then you wanna come over to the table. You can go in any order, it doesn't matter. I am going to start with and go in the actual order. So I'm going to start with the olive oil, and we need 1 teaspoon. Okay, and this goes in a custard cup. Fill it all the way to the top. All right, next you need the 1/4 of a head of cabbage. Okay, so just take a 1/4. There is normally an outer layer on lettuce and cabbage. You do need to remove that if you're making this at home. I've already removed it, so you don't have to worry about it, but it's exposed to the environment, and so you need to make sure that you take that off, okay? Then you need 1 carrot. Now these are the largest carrots that I've ever seen. Okay, so we're gonna do like a 1/2 or maybe even a 1/4 of a carrot, okay? But you're gonna pick it up, you're gonna put it on your tray. Bean sprouts. Now bean sprouts, you guys, are hard to measure because they're chunky. You need 3/4 of a cup, so you're gonna do a 1/2 cup and a 1/4. Okay, you're going to use your hand and you're gonna kind of pack the bean sprouts in. There's a 1/2 cup. And then here is a 1/4 cup. All right, next you need the 1/4 cup of chopped water chestnuts. Now these, you guys, these are in a lot of Asian cooking. They don't have a lot of flavor. They actually absorb the flavor of the sauce. So you're gonna measure that, use your hand to pat it in, because again, it's chunky. All right, then what we need are 2 green onions. They are gonna go on your tray. Okay, then we need a piece of ginger. This is what ginger looks like. It's usually like all together, like a big stalk. Gentlemen. okay? You're just gonna grab a piece. All right, then we need the stuff for the sauce. Okay, so you need 1 tablespoon, remember that's your big one, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Okay, then you need, and make sure you don't mess this up, use a half a teaspoon of fish sauce, okay? Now, the fish sauce, you guys, it smells funky, okay? It's a little funky, but it is in a lot of Asian cooking, okay? So you're gonna do just a half. Okay, then we're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. What does the cornstarch do? Makes it thick. Okay? So 1 and then a half. Yeah, it makes the sauce thick. And then where am I going to get my water from?
The sink.
The sink. Okay? So you're going to go back to your kitchen. You're going to get your knife, you guys, and you're going to get a Ziploc bag. And you're going to go back to your kitchen. You're going to hand it over to your cook. Okay? And the cook is going to slice the cabbage. While the cook is slicing the cabbage, Reuben and Elijah, the assistant cook or helper 1 is going to grate the carrot. Okay? So you're going to get out 2 cutting boards. Okay, 1 for the cook, 1 for the assistant cook. All right, I'm going to do both jobs. So I'm going to start with the cabbage, then I'll show you how to do the carrot. Okay, now the knives, you guys, are really sharp. I just sharpened them. I want you to hold it where your hand is wrapped around the blade, and then your thumb and finger are around the blade itself. Okay, it just makes it more steady. And then you're going to pull your hands back in, and you're going to cut. Now, there is a core on cabbage, okay? This is the core. So you don't, it tastes kind of bitter, so you don't really want that. So you can cut it out, or you can flip the cabbage over. Okay, and then you're gonna cut that up. Now, we are going to put, and you can throw the core away, we're gonna put most of the vegetables in together, so I'm gonna keep them on the cutting board. All right, so while the cook is doing that, the assistant cook is going to grate the carrot. So you're gonna do it, as it says on the direction, you're gonna do it on the large holes. And you have to be careful, you guys, because this can cut your skin. It can rip a nail off or cut a nail off, and I've done it, all right? So you wanna be careful. So you wanna hold the carrot kind of far back and just go down. The assistant or helper 1 is doing this, okay? And you wanna grate it until you can't grate it anymore. Okay, and this takes a while. That's why helper 1 or the assistant cook needs to do this. Okay, and then the cook should be finishing up with cutting the water chestnuts and the green onions. Okay. You guys can grate it even more than that, but I'm just going to stop at that point. Okay. Then the cook, while the assistant cook is doing that, they are going to grate the ginger. When they are done, you're going to grate the ginger on the small holes, okay? And you're going to grate it until you can't grate it anymore. And some of it will come out the bottom, but most of it hangs out. Ooh, be careful, Miss Nagel. Most of them kind of hangs out on the inside of the grater, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, so that's where the ginger kind of hangs out. So when you go to put it in the pan, you just scrape it out. Okay, then I'm gonna do my water chestnuts. Oh my gosh, you guys, though I didn't put them in the custard cup. All right, so hold the blade the same way, wrap your hand around it, hold the actual blade. These, you guys, I'm gonna leave it up to the cook on how they wanna do it. You can leave them big, like that, or you can come back through and chop them to make them smaller. It's gonna be up to the cook, whoever that is for this lab, okay? I like them a little bit smaller because then you get them throughout the egg roll rather than just occasionally getting a bite. Okay, so that goes over there. Again, if you are moving food on your cutting board, you are using the back side of the blade, not the front side of the blade. Okay, then I'm gonna slice the onions. So to start with the onions, you're gonna cut off the little hair. Okay, it's like a little crazy head. You're gonna cut that off. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the first layer off, okay? And the reason that we take that first layer off is because it's exposed to the environment and there may be little creatures, okay? So take off that first layer. The carrot, you guys, I will wash them, but if you're at home, you know, you need to wash your vegetables, okay? Because little creatures walk on them during shipment. Okay, so then you're gonna slice these, and the cook, you can slice them as thin or as big as you want. I was telling second period that when I was a kid, we ate weird things in Michigan. That's where I'm from. And we used to, as a kids, if we had a family party, we would take what's called dried beef, which is like a circle, like lunch meat, but it's dried beef. And then we would smear it with cream cheese and then put a whole green onion in it and roll it up, and we'd eat it like that. Isn't that gross?
Green onions are good though.
I know, they're so good.
Have you ever had them fried?
Yeah, grilled, they're so good grilled. All right, so I have everything chopped. Okay, so using your small liquid measuring cup, you're gonna mix this with the water. So we want to put in how much water? 4 tablespoons, not 4 cups.
4 cups.
So 1, and guys, have it be cold. 2, 3, 4. All right, you're gonna use a fork, and you're gonna mix it. The cornstarch tends to hang out on the bottom, so you gotta kind of scrape it. Then number 7, you're gonna heat the oil in a large skillet over high heat for 2 minutes. We are going to be doing what is called a stir fry, okay? Now, if your handle is loose, make sure you bring it over to me, okay? And we're gonna turn this to high. We're gonna put the oil in, and I want you to use your rubber scraper to get all of the oil in, you guys, because we need all of it for the stir fry. And stir fry is a high heat. That's why we're using high, okay? And it's cooking till it is wilted, all right? And wilted means till they start to kind of crumble up a little bit, okay? Take your turner / spatula, spread your oil around, okay? And you want to let it heat for 2 minutes. Then what we're going to do is we are going to add in, once it's hot, you're going to add in the cabbage, the sprouts, the carrots, the chestnuts, and the ginger to the pan. And we are going to cook it with the cover on, okay, stirring it frequently 4 to 5 minutes, okay? Gotta wait for it to get hot. It will sizzle. Who can, by looking at your recipe, who can tell me when I add the green onions? What number is it? Look through the 9, number 9, okay? All right, so this is heated. It's about 2 minutes. I'm gonna start, add that in. You can hear it sizzle.
Well, are you doing day 1 and 2 right now?
No, just day 1. Okay? Then we're going to take the ginger in. Okay, you want to stir it. You want to get your beans in. I always forget about my beans. Okay, mix it around so that it's all mixed together. And then you're going to set your timer. Start at 4. Put your lid on. And you're going to be stir frying it, okay? Till they begin to wilt. All right, so while that is cooking, I just want to go over a couple of things. Okay, we're going to go over cooking grades in a little bit. All right, and then we're going to talk about a cooking competition, okay, that you guys, I'm inviting you guys to be part of. With the egg rolls, depending on how many people you have in your kitchen, for day 2, you'll either make 8 or 10 egg rolls, depending on how many you have in your kitchen, okay? Also, if you look at the recipe, you will notice the front is all day 1. The back is all day 2, okay? So don't get confused. Also, you guys, there were a couple kitchens, not so much this period, but some periods, that did not scrub your oven top. You need to use the green scrubbies that are under your sink and the spray to scrub your stove top, okay? All right, so this is still cooking, and you'll notice it's starting to turn a little brown in places, which is what we want. And the lid on, with the lid on, it is starting to steam as well. So it's frying and steaming. Are you okay? On your kitchen bag, write down your period 5, okay, and your kitchen number. Someone's going to have to help hold the bag for the cook to put the vegetables in, but we are going to cool it first. Why are we going to cool it?
So it won't be steaming hot?
So it won't be steaming hot, yeah. Because what would happen if I put steaming hot veggies into this bag?
No.
It could melt, okay? So we don't want to do that. All right, so we got 2 minutes left. And I'm going to put in the sauce. And I'm going to cook it for how long? 30 seconds, okay? And when you put the sauce in, you put the onions in. All right? Okay. I did, for those of you that missed mac and cheese, we did put the video on YouTube, so if you go to my channel, it's Mrs. Nagel's Mac and Cheese, or Mrs. Nagel Mac and Cheese, okay? You can watch that. There are a couple of you that missed it, so I will be passing out makeup sheets for that.
But I recorded it weird.
You did record it. It was recorded crooked, but we fixed it last night. This will also be on YouTube. You can see it starting to wilt, where it means it's starting to shrivel up a little bit. Before you put this in, you have to stir it. Make it that creamy color, like creamy coffee. Okay? My minute is up.
Nagel, have you ever had lumpia?
Oh, yeah. So good. Okay. So I'm going to add in the onions.
Filipino.
Guys,
Don't say it. Hey, don't say
guys,
it.
I'm recording. Guys, I'm recording. Okay, so once it's cooked, you're going to stir in the onions, and then you're going to stir this really quick and pour it all around. Okay, then quickly stir it so that all of the vegetables get covered in the sauce. And then you're going to take it off of the heat. Turn your oven off, and you're going to let it cool, okay? Then 2 people, one person's gonna hold the bag, the other one's gonna put it in here. You're gonna put it in the fridge, middle shelf, okay, for period 5. Okay, your stove really needs to be cleaned well. If vegetables fall underneath the burner, you need to tell me and I will get it out, okay? Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, let me go over.
Yay.
Okay, wait.